to everyone. First, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to describe today our work on Indian Jews. We heard earlier today a similar talk. Some of the results are similar, but some of them are also, I think both studies show different aspects of this population. So the two main Jewish populations in India are Bnei Israel and Cochin Jews. And we know very little about Bnei Israel. They were discovered about 300 years ago by Jews from other communities, the Cochin Jews and Christian missionaries. They lived on the shore, western shore of India. They claimed to be Jews. They practiced very little of what we know from Judaism. They didn't work on Saturdays, but not much more than that. That's their own old tradition about 7 males and 7 females coming with a ship to India and establishing this community about 2,000 years ago, or some speculate earlier or later. But there is no clear evidence to support any of these suggestions, and basically we know about this community only for the last 300 years or so. Actually, after the establishment of the State of Israel, when many of them wanted to immigrate to Israel, there was a debate here in Israel whether to consider them as a Jewish community or not. There was a special committee of the Chief Rabbinate of Israel that ruled in the early 60s as they are Jews. And following, many of them immigrated to Israel. And now most of the community is here in Israel. This is the major Indian community in Israel. More than 50,000 of them live in Israel. And approximately 5,000 of them still live in Mumbai, mainly in Mumbai, in India. Cochin Jews are perhaps the more famous group of Indian Jews, and this is a very totally different story. We know about the presence of Jews in the area of Cochin, in southwest India, for at least a millennium. They are mentioned by the writing of Marco Polo, the journey of Tudela, and other foreign travelers. They have been in touch with other Jewish communities, mainly the Yemenite Jews, which are in close proximity, but also for Middle Eastern, Baghdadi Jews and other Jews from other communities, in Egypt and others. And we know that they knew about the Talmud, they practiced Judaism similar to what we know. And also, as mentioned earlier today, after Jews were forced to leave Spain and Portugal 500 years ago, and many of them moved to the Balkans and North Africa, some of them also moved to Cochin and joined the local community, and also established their own community of Paradisi, meaning foreign Jews in Cochin. And again, also for this community, we know very little about their origin. Some speculated into biblical times, when King Solomon, or perhaps after the destruction of the first or second temple, but we have nothing to support any of these suggestions. We just know about the presence of a Jewish community there for the last millennium. This is much smaller communities compared to Bnei Israel, but a few thousands of them live in Israel, and a few hundreds in India. By the way, many of them were sampled in the other study. So if you look on previous studies, that some of them were mentioned earlier today, and basically many of the people that did these studies sit here. So most Jewish diasporas can be traced back to the Middle East, studies by Carlos Koreski and Doron Be'ar, and those led by Ari Oster. But also there are special communities where we show a different trend. One of these, and some of these are the Indian Jews, both Cochin Jews and Bnei Israel. It's not clear to relate them to Middle Eastern ancestry. If you look on the mitochondria, it's very similar to other Indian population, and also the autosome, at least based on previous studies. Doron Be'ar suggested, based on Y chromosome analysis, that there is some paternal linkage to the Middle East. And as we heard earlier today, now there is evidence for Middle Eastern ancestry in those group of Jews. What makes things even more complicated is the genetic structure of the Indian population. Several studies in the last decade or so show that most contemporary Indian populations are themselves an ethnic population of two prototype ancestral Indian population. One called ancestral North Indian, Ani, and the other one is ancestral South Indian, Asi. And basically, different populations in India differ in the proportion of this ancient admixture. And so, even if we find evidence or something which looks like Middle Eastern ancestry, it just might be an Ani component of an Indian admixture, because the Ani component is related to Eurasians and also related to Middle Eastern. And also, it's not trivial to distinguish between Jewish-specific and Middle Eastern ancestry in general. So in order to to address these challenges, we wanted to be as comprehensive as we can get data set that will represent both the complex genetic structure of India and also the genetic structure of the Jewish diaspora, also of the Middle East. So, as you can see, we also collect more samples from both Cochin and Bnei Israel, Cochin Jews and Bnei Israel communities as compared to other studies, and also many samples for Jewish diaspora and Indian population, and also as a reference, many samples from worldwide population. And we had a very rich representation of the autosomes and the X chromosome. And in addition, we added information of Middle Eastern and Pakistani population, also to look on the Middle Eastern ancestry. So if you get to the results, so if you do PCA analysis, so basically this is a worldwide PCA. So this is the Indian and Pakistani cluster. This is the Jewish and Middle Eastern cluster. These are East Asians. And basically this is the Anyasi admixture of the Indian population, which spans between these two clusters. And here we can see both the Indian Jews, Bnei Israel and Cochin Jews, are part of the Indian cluster, and furthermore, they are not even the closest to the Jewish cluster. If you do admixture analysis, so basically you look on the ancestry of each individual, so these are the Indian populations, these are the Jewish population, these are the Middle Eastern, which are Druze, Bedouin, and Palestinians, these are Europeans. So this is basically, these are all Indian population. So this is the green line color is the Indian component, basically the Asi component. And this is a Middle Eastern ancestry, which is very little levels in other Indian population, but specifically in Cochin Jews and Bnei Israel, it is relatively high, but still comparable to other Pakistani population. So again, if you would say that these are Jews, we would need to say that also many Pakistani population have the same Jewish or Middle Eastern ancestry. So based on this, we don't have a clear result, and it is also similar to previous studies. But both PCA and admixture and also other methods, they look on each SNP alone and don't take into account relations between nearby SNPs. And we know that in the mode of inheritance, whole segments of the genome are inherited together. And this is why we wanted to look on what you've heard earlier today several times on IBD, identical by descent segment. And we wanted to see how many segments are shared between Indian Jews and other Jewish populations as compared to the sharing between Jews and Indians, for example. So these are Indian population. This is a heat map of the IBD sharing. These are the Jewish population. So there is a class of IBD sharing between Jews and also between Indians, but not between the two clusters. The only exception here is these are Bnei Israel, which show the highest IBD sharing among all Indian and Pakistani population. And this is basically the IBD sharing of them between Jewish and Indian is very similar. So this is first evidence for something which is different from other Indian population. For Cochin Jews, they share relatively high IBD sharing with the Jewish population, but still it's comparable to several other Indian populations. So the results are less clear. So what we applied next are two methods that try to look for direct evidence for admixture. They are called ALDER and Globetrotter. Sorry. And both of these methods, they have a similar method behind them, although in parts they are a little bit different. So, but again, they look on stretches of DNA. Basically, they look on the decay of the recombination events through the generations, and look for evidence for admixture based on the DNA of ancestral population and the admixed population. And both of them find clear evidence for both Indian Jewish groups to have Jewish and Indian ancestry. Also, the estimated time of admixture is quite recent, in the last millennium or so. And if you look on the contribution, it seems to be more Indian than Jewish. And based on these results, it doesn't seem that we capture the Anyasi admixture, which is Indian, because first of all, it's much more recent, but also when we replaced the Indian Jews with any other Indian population, we didn't get significant results for such a recent admixture. So it seems to be something which is unique to them. And also it is more likely to be Jewish specific because if we replace the Jewish population with other Middle Eastern population, the results become less significant. Also based on other methods, looking on the mitochondria, but also looking on the X chromosome, it seems that the admixture has been sex biased, meaning it is more males from the Jewish side and more females from the Indian side, mostly for Bnei Israel, but also probably for Cochin Jews. So if we go back to the admixture time, the admixture time is quite recent. For Bnei Israel, it perhaps makes sense because we know very little about them. So if it happened 700 years ago, it might be the formation of this community because we know about them only for the last 300 years or so. But for the Cochin Jews, as I mentioned in the start, we know about the presence of the Jewish community there for at least a millennium. But still, the admixture we detect is much more recent. So as we have heard earlier today, based on similar analysis but on different data sets, same as Cochin Jews, there was a suggestion for an earlier admixture event, perhaps it dates back to the 5th century. And also, if there might be several admixture events, so there is a bias to detect the more recent one, so this is perhaps what we detect. But I think that based on the composition of this admixture, I think that we detect gene flow into the Cochin Jewish community. Because if you look which Jewish population contributed to this admixture, so for Bnei Israel, it's mainly Middle Eastern populations and also Yemenite Jews. But if we look on Cochin Jews, so this is the contribution. So these are Yemenite Jews, these are Greek Jews, but these are Moroccan Jews. It seems not to fit because it's less likely that Moroccan Jews came all the way to India and married and joined the local community. But we know, as we heard earlier, that Sephardic Jews came to India and joined the local community of Cochin. And Sephardic Jews also went to Morocco and to Greek. So basically, perhaps what we detect here is a Sephardic gene flow into the community that is reflected by the Moroccan contribution, because this is a similar population in terms of Sephardic gene flow. In addition, we also looked on the population structure of these communities. So these communities, and this is just a plot of the IBD sharing within a community. So the red ones are the Jewish population, the blue ones are the Indian population, these are half-month populations. So in general, we know that Jews in India have higher IBD sharing as compared to other populations because of endogamy. But specifically, Cochin Jews and Bnei Israel have much higher IBD sharing as compared to other Jewish populations, and mostly Indian. These are very small populations in India, in Ireland, things like that, so there's a lot of endogamy. So these suggest high endogamy and intermarriages between each of the community, and evidence that they've been isolated. We also find evidence for recent bottlenecks, genetic bottlenecks in the two populations in the last several hundreds of years. And these together can increase the prevalence, as we know, of recessive diseases. Specifically, we know of several diseases that are much more common in this population as compared to other worldwide populations, probably because of founder event mutation. So we'd like to summarize with this and say that we find evidence here that both these unique communities, diaspora, seem to have both Jewish and Indian ancestry, supporting the old tradition, but we still we need to scale to see whether it corresponds in the time. The admixture, as it seems, has been very recent, so at least for the Cochin Jews, it might reflect gene flow into the community. And this population also show high endogamy. And I think that this is an example of studies that show that gives us much more about history that we can learn from other, perhaps more traditional methods. And because, for example, for Bnei Israel, we know practically nothing about them for the last 300 years or so, and now we can say that there are descendants of Jews that came approximately 700 years ago from these specific populations. So this has been a part of the Jewish HackMap project that Gil introduced earlier today, that is led by Ari Yoser and Eitan Friedman, who sits here, and this has been a collaboration of many people from Cornell University, Tel Aviv University, and Shiva Medical Center, and of course Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and I would like to thank them and also you for your attention.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, please.
Maybe I missed it, but do you have any records from the Khotin community which indicates whether there was marriage and proliferation afterwards by conversion, by marriages where the local converted?
With the Indians.
I missed if you said that.
No, so basically after we know about this community for the last several hundred years, usually they married only Jews, but they consider themselves as Jews.
Understand.
So they didn't marry. We know about cases about what they call the.
Being a Jew is not just genetic. So
Yes.
yeah. So do you see what I was asking? Do you have records of? You have actual records in the synagogue that indicate that there were a high proportion of conversion marriages from local people.
So okay, so there are records. There's not what there's the story of Cochin is more complicated because there are several subpopulations there, and also the story of several Indian slaves that converted into Judaism. But it's been, it's been one at a time, not a genus like we take, for example, from the Sephardic Jew. It might have been, several dozens of families that joined this local small community or something like that.
I can add you something to that. We studied long ago Parsis, both Gujarati and Mumbai. And, specifically Gujarati say that they ran away from Islam at the end of the 7th century. And when we looked, there was plenty of Y chromosomes, both what are clearly Iranian, so to say, and almost nothing was found in mitochondrial DNA that was genuine, ancient, autochtonic Indian. So it looks like the priests ran away with a fire and Avesta and left the woman folk.